Hi, everyone. The last few months have been a perfect time to reflect and to think about the future, to plan, to prioritize, and to really have a vision of where you want to go forward. But do you feel empowered to take action and to do those things? Well, I want to talk to you now about some tasks that you can take on that are going to help to give you a foundation for building a very empowered and energized future. This is Margaret Manning with 60andMe, and I'm really happy to have you here with me today. Thank you so much for your support. Our show is brought to you today by See Me Beauty. See Me Beauty is for women who want to have healthy, hydrated, and radiant skin, who are just simply not interested in unrealistic and false promises about skincare products. So See Me Beauty has made some amazing products that are made with natural ingredients. It's all about hydrating and protecting your skin and to give it that glow that you want, that's going to take you into the future. So check out their beautiful products on seemebeauty.com. Now, we've all done the cleaning. The drawers are clean, the cupboards are maybe sorted out. We've had time to reflect on what's important to us in our lives. You've done all those tasks. I mean, people have been scrubbing their floors with toothbrushes, and every single corner is sparkling clean. And of course, for good reason, we've been trying to keep everything perfect and clean and healthy. But we've also been looking at our lives and thinking, what do I want to do when this is over, or when it's at least at a point where I can get back out into the world? And so one of our bloggers, Nancy Jutin, wrote this article about how to move forward from those basic tasks that we've kept us occupied for the last few months and move into some tasks that can give us a foundation for the future so that we can feel empowered and relaxed, and we don't have to worry about some of these very, very basic things. So instead of doing those endless Zoom calls and online bingo, here's 6 things that she thinks you can do that are going to help you feel centered, balanced, and prepared. Most of all, prepared for the future. And these are simple things, and you're going to go, oh, why didn't I think of that when I mentioned some of these? Because they're just things that we put aside. We maybe don't want to do them, but they are important. And in doing them, you'll be freed up to think about more important things when life starts to get back to some kind of normalcy. So the first thing is, do things that will be making a lasting impact. I mean, you're going to clean the car, you're going to clean up the garage, but it's all going to get messy again. And it's a constant process. Why not do some things that are going to be done once and then maybe updated now and again, but you don't have to worry, they're done. And the first one on her list is your medication list. Okay, make a complete list of all your medications. It's really funny, during this time of being at home, I've actually done a lot of these things myself, and I realized that I didn't do that. I mean, I have, so what I did is I took pictures of all my medications. I only have a couple, but I took pictures, and it's like the amount and the formula, whatever, and just doing that and putting it, I have a little box now where I have all these things written down, and it's just helpful. And on my phone, I've got it on my phone, should I need, to go get refills or whatever. Anyway, medications list. Do your family a favor and do that. Be prepared. You obviously don't want to get sick. You don't want to be in an emergency situation. But if something does happen, you'll have it all there. And so that gives you that freedom to kind of relax about the future. Kind of related to that is something that I have such a thing about this, passwords. I cannot remember them. I'm honestly really bad and I'm on so many different sites and different shops and things. My passwords, and I don't want to use the same password over and over again. That's not a good idea. But you can use different services. There's one that I use called LastPass.com. I have no affiliation with them. I just use them. There's lots of them where you can actually put like a master password on their account, and then all your other ones go underneath that. So you can go up and check. And it gives you peace of mind, just knowing that your passwords are somewhere. Like even your login for your computer, you've got to put that somewhere where your family could find it, should they need to get into your email, into your, and also think about, medical information on your phone too, because if you don't have that password to the phone somewhere, I think maybe a medical professional can get into your phone with the special code. But just important to have your passwords sorted out for all your different places. That's really important. And cybersecurity now is a big deal, so make sure you take care of that. Another thing is on the financial side is your investment accounts. Now, many of you had investment accounts when you were working, and now that you've been retired or you're not working full time, you just may have forgotten what exactly am I doing with that? And make sure you just go out and, first of all, know again your login, your password. Super important to get into the account, but also be able to how to access your bank details. Now, a lot of banks and credit unions now have like little fobs that you have to put in a secret code, and the security is quite strong. But just make sure that somebody in your family knows how to get into those accounts. Someone that you trust, and even if it's just your attorney or your a lawyer, whatever, just make sure that someone has got access. So your investment accounts, where you stand, whether you need to make any adjustments. I mean, this has been a crazy time for the stock market, and most people's advice is just to just stay with it. It's going to be okay, like it was in 2008 eventually. But if you feel like you need to switch a few things around, this is a good time. So check out your investment accounts. Utilities. This is another one that's really important, to make sure that someone else has your passwords, or that you have a connection, with them. You know how to get into them. So if you had to call the gas company today, or the electric company, or your phone company, do you have their phone numbers to hand? I mean, there's nothing worse. I mean, I've been in this situation, as I'm sure most of you have too. There's times in your life where something happens and it's like, oh my gosh, everything goes focused on that thing, whatever it is that's happening. And you forget everything else, like your passwords, your, like emails, you forget your, website addresses. Just write them down. Write them down and make sure that you know how to turn your utilities off. Where are your plugs in your house? So if you have I had a really strange situation a couple of weeks ago where I have a kettle. It was in the kitchen, and it overflowed. It bubbled over, and it made a short in the electrics, and my whole house went black, and I did not know where to go to turn on the lights. I had my phone as a little light. And I finally figured it out, and I kind of knew where the plugs were, but I didn't know how. All those things. Be prepared for floods, emergencies, tornadoes. They happen. So just be prepared with your utilities. Credit card information is the fifth one. Really important. We all have a lot of credit cards, some that we don't even use anymore. I know it's a good idea for credit ratings to keep them, but just make sure you know your passwords and those 3-letter codes on the back of the card. Don't write them down where you lose your purse or something, but make sure, again, like on LastPass.com or one of those services, make sure you have that information for your credit cards. And if you're a victim of identity theft, well, you can know how to quickly respond. And I remember my purse was stolen when I was in Italy a few years ago. And honestly, my mind went completely blank, because I was so shocked. I wasn't ready for that. And just trying to call all my credit card companies from Italy I didn't even have my phone. So it was crazy. So just be careful of those kinds of situations. You want to be prepared. This is how our future is. We're empowered for the future. We have these things. Finally, end of life wishes. Okay, now this is really important, and especially because we're now facing a pandemic that is, knows no boundaries. It's just very scary. But you want to stay healthy and well, but prepare yourself, talk to your family, have that conversation. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard, but just have a conversation with one person if you don't want to chat with everyone around the dinner table. But what you want to do if something should happen to you. In the situation of COVID, do you want to be put onto a ventilator? Do you want, what are your wishes? And not just your wishes if you were sick, but should you die? Should you pass away? What then? What do you want to happen? Do you want your social media accounts to be canceled? Do you want, do you have a will? Have you written your will? Do you have all that down? Do you have those last words that you want to say to people? Little notes or letters or little gifts for your grandchildren, or something that you want to have them in one place so everybody can find them and you can be remembered it's going to be hard, of course, for everybody, but you will be remembered in a positive, we all work together here. Life is, a cycle, and we can't avoid that final step. But just having someone be thoughtful. I have a little box. It's like things to read when I die. That's what I have on my computer, and I also have it printed out. Things to read when I die. And some of them are little messages. messages to my sons and grandchildren. Some are just make sure that this person gets this thing because they really loved it, and what to do with my postcards, what to do, just simple things like that. Just simple things. In Sweden, they have this thing called death cleansing, which is that after 65, they just say it's our responsibility to not leave this to our children. Whatever we want to have done, we should document it and make sure. So that's important. Knowing each other's wishes is so, so important. And I know it's not the most pleasant of topics to talk about, but hey, it's something that everybody needs to do to help each other. So the woman who wrote this article, I think I mentioned her name, Nancy Juten, has on her website something called Get Your Act Together, and it's got a template that you can check out for these types of questions and answers, and it's a really nice resource if you want to check out her website. It's underneath the article. So, are you prepared to deal with a crisis? Have you got all these things that I mentioned in order? I'm not trying to be preachy, and it's everyone's got their own style and their own way, but these are just some ideas that I think are 6 really good tasks that we'll do once or twice. You may have to update now and again, but this is done in a drawer, and then move on with life. You're empowered to do whatever you want after this. Is all in a place that you can move forward. So, what does your preparation entail? What have you got done? How are you prepared for all those things? It's really good to chat with you about these topics. They help me as well. But do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay strong and healthy, and stay positive and calm. And have a wonderful day wherever you are. And we'll talk again really, really soon. Bye-bye for now.